morning. In our last class, we were discussing about some of the practical units of length used for measuring very large distances. I have told you we generally make use of the units such as astronomical unit, light year, and parsec for measurement of very large distances. Astronomical unit is the average distance between Earth and the Sun. And I have told you one astronomical unit is equal to 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 meters. This is the average distance between Earth and the Sun. Right? See, the average distance between Earth and the Sun must be measured in the units of astronomical unit. Right? These are non-SI units. If SI units are, these are some practical units used for measurement of large distances. Also, we have defined what is a light year. See, one light year is the distance traveled by light in vacuum in 1 year. Distance traveled by the light in vacuum in 1 year is called as a light year. I have told you, light travels a distance of about 3 lakh kilometers for every 1 second. Light has enormous speed. The speed of light is so high that it can travel a distance of about 3 lakh kilometers for every 1 second. 1 second ಗೆ 3 lakh kilometers travel ಮಾಡ್ತದಂತ light. ಅಂದ್ರೆ it has that high speed. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ can you now guess what should be the distance traveled by the light in 1 year? 1 second ನಾಗೆ 3 lakh kilometers travel ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 1 year time ಕೊಟ್ರೆ light ಎಷ್ಟು distance travel ಮಾಡಿರಬಹುದು? Whether the distance traveled by light is too high or moderate or it is too low. Distance traveled by light in 1 year is too high or too low or it is moderate enough. ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ? It's too high, so distance traveled by light in 1 year is a very large distance. It is measured in units of light year, and 1 light year is equal to 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meters. This is the value of light year. 1 light year is equals to 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meters. That means in 1 year, in vacuum, light travels a distance of about 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meter. This is light year. And also we have discussed about the parsec. See, I have told you, suppose if this is some point, say O, and we have an arc of length, this is an arc of length 1 astronomical unit. This arc has a length of 1 astronomical unit. The arc length it is 1 astronomical unit. 1 astronomical unit is nothing but 1.46 into 10 to the power of 11 meter. ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕ್ ಅದೇ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರದಾಗ ಇಟ್ರೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. At what distance this arc is going to subtend an angle of 1 second at this point. So I place this arc at certain distance b. Arc of length 1 astronomical unit is placed at a distance d from this point O. At this distance, this arc will subtend an angle of 1 second at this point. Then this distance at which an arc of length 1 astronomical unit is subtending an angle of 1 second is called as 1 parsec. The distance now 1 parsec. And 1 parsec is equal to, see, the idea of parsec should be clear. 1 parsec is the distance at which an arc of length 1 astronomical unit is going to subtend an angle of 1 second. Right? This distance is called as parsec. It is called as parsec. And 1 parsec is approximately 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meter. Andre, from a point, if you place an arc of length 1 astronomical unit at a distance of 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meter, then that arc is going to subtend an angle of 1 second at this point. This distance is called as a parsec, right? So these are some of the practical units that we make use in measurement of large distances. So this is regarding no. If it subtends 10 seconds, will it be 10 parsec? No. 10 parsec ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 1 parsec is 3.1 into 10 to the power. See, parsec ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ seconds ಅಲ್ಲ. Parsec ಅನ್ನೋದು distance. Parsec is nothing but distance. At what distance an arc of length 1 astronomical unit is going to subtend an angle of 1 second. See, 1 second is the reference angle here. 1 second another reference angle. ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, suppose we have an arc. Let us suppose this is an arc of length 1 astronomical unit. This arc is right. Either length ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? Its length is 1 astronomical unit. ಈಗ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನನ್ನ ಐ ಹತ್ರ 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನನ್ನ ಐ ಇಂದ ಐ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ x and I measure angle subtended by this arc at my eye, and angle subtended by this arc at my eye is say 10 seconds. ನನಗೆ 10 seconds ಅನ್ನೋದು ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಸೆಕ್ಕಿಗೆ. ಪಾರ್ಸೆಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ is 1 second. So this arc whose length is 1 astronomical unit should subtend an angle of 1 second at my eye. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ 10 seconds. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 1 second ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? How can I make angle subtended by this arc at my eye equal to 1 second? How can I do that? ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Suppose here is some point, say point O. Here is an arc of length say 1 astronomical unit. At this distance x1, look at the angle subtended by this arc at point O. Let us suppose angle subtended by this arc at point O is theta 1, right? Angle subtended is theta 1. Suppose if I start moving this arc away from point O ಇಂದ ಈ arc ನ ದೂರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ what happens to the angle subtended? ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ O, ಈ arc ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಈ arc ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ತಗೊಂಡು let me place arc now at a distance x2. I will place the arc here. See, the length of the arc is going to remain the same. Elastic length of arc 1 astronomical. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ 1 astronomical. Can you observe what happened to the angle? Angle now became theta 2. Which is greater? Theta 1 is greater or theta 2 is greater? Or angle in the first case is greater or angle in the second case is greater? Which is greater? Theta 1 is greater or theta 2 is greater? I want you to draw this. ನೀವು ಪೇಪರ್ ನ ಬರೆದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರೋ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ನೀವು ಬರೆದು ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಆ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ದೂರ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ದ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಮೋರ್ away from point O. See, the length of the arc is still 1 astronomical unit. Length of arc no change ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಈ ಮೂರು ಕಡೆ length of arc same ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But look at the distance of the arc from the point. What happened to the angle further? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ if I go on shifting this arc away from a given point, what happens to the angle subtended by that arc at the given point? ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ? ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ as the distance of the arc increases, as distance of the arc from the point increases, as x increases, the angle theta goes on decreasing. Angle theta goes on decreasing. Right? ಈಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಕ್ whose length is 1 astronomical unit. ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ 1 astronomical unit ಅಂದ್ರೆ it will be very large. It will be very large. Okay. Now I place this arc at certain distance from my eye, and I see that it subtends an angle of 10 seconds at my eye. But ನನಗೆ parsec define ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ this arc of length 1 astronomical unit should subtend an angle of 1 second, not 10 seconds. It should subtend an angle of 1 second. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ arc ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಈಗ? What should I do in order for this arc to subtend an angle of 1 second at my eye? It is now subtending 10 seconds. I do not want it to subtend 10 seconds. I have placed it at some distance x1. What I have to do? Whether I have to move this arc towards my eye or I have to move this arc away from my eye. What is to be done? I have to move the arc away from my eye. ನನ್ನ ಐಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. Okay, I have taken it to certain distance. See, my eye is the point of observation. This is the arc, and now I have taken the arc to a very large distance, and now this arc is subtending an angle of 1 second at my eye. ಈಗ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ, this arc is now subtending an angle of 1 second at my eye. Okay, this arc is now subtending an angle of 1 second at my eye. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ can you tell me what is this distance called as? ನನ್ನ ಐ ಇಂದ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇರೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? What is this distance at which an arc of length 1 astronomical unit subtends an angle of 1 second called as? ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕು? That distance is called as parsec. Parsec ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. It is not concerned with seconds. Do not bother about seconds. Parsec is distance. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರದೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕ್ ನ of length 1 astronomical unit ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ಆ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣ ಹತ್ರ 1 second ಅಷ್ಟು ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. That distance is called as parsec. Parsec is a distance. I think idea of parsec is clear. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನ ಬಹಳ ದೂರದಾಗ ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ 1 second ಆಂಗಲ್ ಕಣ್ಣು ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. 1 second is a very small angle. Remember this. 1 second is a very small angle. 1 second is a very small angle. We have already converted seconds to radian, minutes to radian. Madivadana problem madivi. You must remember those. 1 second is approximately 4.8 into 10 to the power of minus 6 radian. 4.8 into 10 power minus 6 radian. Adana ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ recall ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಾರ್ತಿ ಅದನ್ನ you need to recall it. 1 second is equals to 4.8 into 10 power minus 6 radians. Right? We have converted degree to radian, minute to radian, second to radian problems ಮಾಡಿವಿ. Try to recall it again. Okay, see, parsec ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು? 1 astronomical unit ಇರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನ ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರದೊಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣ ಹತ್ರ 1 second ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರದಾಗ ಇರಬೇಕು? 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meters. ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಂದ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನ 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meters ಅಷ್ಟು ದೂರದಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಕ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣ ಹತ್ರ 1 second ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಂದ ಈ ಆರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಪಾರ್ಸೆಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Parsec is the distance at which an arc of length 1 astronomical unit subtends an angle of 1 second. That is called parsec. So these are some of the practical units of length. So there are three practical units of length which we use for measuring large distances. One is astronomical unit, the other is light year, and the another is parsec. Then if we write all three here, one astronomical unit is equals to 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 meter. One light year is equals to 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meters, and one parsec is equal to 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meters. You ಮೂರು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾವ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ? Which is the larger unit? Which is the larger unit? Astronomical unit, light year, parsec. Which of these three is the larger unit? Which of these three is the larger unit? Notice one astronomical unit is 1.496 into 10 power 11. You have to look at this value. Even now order anta kariತೀವಿ. These are called order. 10 power 11, 10 power 15, 10 power 16 ಏನವಲ್ಲ, ಇವನ್ನ ನಾವು order ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Right? Which is the larger unit? See, this is 10 power 11, this is 10 power 15, and parsec has order of 10 power 16. Hagadre which is greater? Parsec is greater. Parsec is the greater unit. Then can we compare this? E units na compare ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? You said parsec is the greater unit. Hagadre if we compare parsec and light year, parsec is greater than light year. By how many times it is greater? How many times parsec is greater than light year? How many times parsec is greater than astronomical unit? That must be calculated. I have told you a way of finding or way of comparing the things. What is to be done if we have to compare two things? If I have to compare x and y, what is to be done? I have told you a mathematical way of comparing two quantities. How do you compare two quantities? ಎರಡು quantities na compare ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾಗಲೇ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. We need to compare two things. Comparison ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿನಿ. How to do comparison? See, while comparing two quantities, you need to take a ratio between them. In order to compare any two quantities, you need to take a ratio between them. ಎರಡು quantities na compare ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಎರಡು quantities ಮಧ್ಯೆ ratio ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ we will compare astronomical unit and light year. Comparison between light year and astronomical unit. So we compare ಯಾವುದು ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಯಾವುದು ಸಣ್ಣದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. See, we know that 1 light year is equals to 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meter. 1 astronomical unit is equals to 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 meter. Can you tell me which among these two is greater? Light year, astronomical unit na ಯಾವುದು ದೊಡ್ಡದು? Light year ಮತ್ತೆ astronomical unit. ಇವೆರಡರೊಳಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ದೊಡ್ಡದಪ್ಪ? ಯಾವುದು ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ನಂಬರ್ ನೋಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. How to look into the order? Which is greater? Light year. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದೇ astronomical unit ಗಿಂತ? That is to be calculated. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ರಿ? You just take a ratio between them. ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು divide ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಒಂದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದನ್ನ. 1 light year divided by 1 astronomical unit is equals to 1 light year is 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 divided by 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 meter. Meter get cancelled. Idನ್ನು divide ಮಾಡಿ 9.46 divided by 1.496. 9.46 divided by 1.496. 9.46 divided by 1.496 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will get about 6.3. Will get about 6.3. Correct? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 9.46 divided by 1.496 is 6.3 into 10 power 15 divided by 10 power 11 other 10 power 15 divided by 10 power 11 10 power 15 divided by 10 power 11 ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ this is of the form a power m divided by a power n 10 power 15 divided by 10 power 11 is 10 power 4 ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 1 light year divided by 1 astronomical unit is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4. 1 light year divided by 1 astronomical unit is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4. So I can write 1 light year is equals to 1 light year is equals to the cross multiply 1 light year is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 times astronomical unit. Or you can just write ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ 1 light year is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 times astronomical unit. 1 light year 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 times astronomical unit. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ ಅದು astronomical unit ಗಿಂತ 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 times ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. This is the comparison. 1 light year is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 astronomical units. You need to remember these values. Light year ಮತ್ತೆ astronomical unit ಮಧ್ಯ relationship ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. 1 light year is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 astronomical units. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, astronomical unit ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇವೆರಡು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ. ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. You will get 6.3 into 10 power 4. ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ. 1 light year is equals to 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 astronomical units. Will you compare parsec and light year? Parsec and light year. Parsec ಮತ್ತೆ light year ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Parsec ಮತ್ತೆ light year. See, you know what is 1 parsec equal to? 1 parsec is equal to 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meters, and 1 light year is equals to 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meters. ಇವೆರಡು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Can you tell me what is 1 parsec is equal to? What is 1 parsec is equal to? ಇವೆರಡು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. 1 parsec divided by 1 light year is equals to 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meter divided by 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meter. See, observe one thing. See, 1 parsec is unit of distance. 1 parsec is unit of distance. 1 light year is also the unit of distance. ಇವೆರಡು ಯಾವುದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್? ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? 1 parsec is unit of distance and 1 light year is also unit of distance. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ both are same physical quantities. ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. When you divide two similar physical quantities, or when you divide physical quantities of same kind, ಇದು distance, ಇದು distance. If you divide physical quantities of same kind, their units gets cancelled out. ಇದನ್ನು ಮೀಟರ್ ನಾಗೆ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದನ್ನು ಮೀಟರ್ ನಾಗೆ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಮೀಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Right? So when you divide physical quantities of same kind, their units gets cancelled out. Okay. 3.1 divided by 9.46. 3.1 divided by 9.46. 3.1 divided by 9.46. 3.1 divided by 9.46. It will be 0.32. 0.32 into 10 power 16 divided by 10 power 15 are there. 10 power 16 divided by 10 power 15 will be 10 power 1. 0.32 into 10 is 3.2. 0.32 into 10 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 3.2 ಬರ್ತದೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ 0.32 into 10 is 3.2 ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 1 parsec is equals to 1 parsec is equals to ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದಾ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬಬಲಿ ಸೊ ಇದು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು 3.2 ಬಂತು ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ 1 parsec is equals to 3.2 light years 1 parsec is equals to 3.2 times light year 1 parsec ಅನ್ನೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ a distance of 1 parsec is equal to 3.2 times a light year right parsec light year ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ parsec light years ಗಿಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ parsec light years ಗಿಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ 3.2 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ light year astronomical unit ಗಿಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 6.3 into 10 to the power of 4 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ can we compare parsec and astronomical unit parsec and astronomical unit can we compare parsec and astronomical unit we know 1 parsec is equals to 3.1 into 10 to the power of 16 meter and 1 astronomical unit is equals to 1 astronomical unit is equals to 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 meters divided compare ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ divide ಮಾಡಿ 1 parsec divided by 1 astronomical unit is equals to 3.1 divided by 1.496 3.1 divided by 1.496 evaluate madri you will get it about 2.07 into 10 to the power of 5 ಬರ್ತದ into 10 to the power of 5 astronomical units into 10 to the power of 5 ಬರ್ತದೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ 1 parsec is equals to 2.07 into 10 to the power of 5 times astronomical unit 1 parsec is equals to 2.07 into 10 to the power of 5 astronomical units. So 1 light year is 6.3 into 10 power 4 astronomical units. 1 parsec is 3.2 light years and 1 parsec is 2.07 into 10 to the power of 5 astronomical units. ಈ ಮೂರು ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು light year astronomical unit parsec light year parsec astronomical unit. I think this is clear. See, these are the units used for measuring very large distances. ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ distances ನ ಈ units ನ measure ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Astronomical unit, light year and then parsec. ಸರ್ ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ distances ನ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಾಗ measure ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Moderate distances ನ ಮೀಟರ್ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ನ ಇದ್ರಾಗ measure ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ moderate distances. ಸರ್ ಬಹಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ electron size of an electron size of a nucleus ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅವಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ size of electron is very less size of nucleus is very less ಸರ್ ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ಇವನ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಾಗ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ನ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅವೆ they must be known to you. See, some units used for measuring small distances. Units used for measuring small distances. Units for measuring small distances. See, the first unit used for measuring small distance is micron. Micron, M-I-C-R-O-N. Micron ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 10 power minus 6 meter ಅಂತ ಮೈಕ್ರಾನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 10 power minus 6 meter ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 1 micrometer ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು mu ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ this symbol should be read as mu ಇದು actually mu ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 1 micrometer ಅಂತ ಓದಬೇಕು 1 micrometer ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು 10 to the power of minus 6 Sir, 10 power minus 6 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? 10 power minus 6 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? 10 power minus 6 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0.00001. ಇದು 10 power minus 6. 10 power minus 6 is nothing but 0.0000001 meter. This is 10 power minus 6 meter. This is a very large value, isn't it? 0.0000001 meter is a very large value, correct? Or it is a very small value? It's a very small value. So, the small distances, 10 power minus 6 meter, is a very small distance. Such distances are measured in micron. So, micron is one unit used for measuring small distances. Micron amale, we use another unit called nanometer. Nanometer ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10 power minus 9 meter ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Nanometer 10 power minus 9 meter. ಇದು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀಬಹುದು 1 nm 1 nanometer. Nanometer ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಮೀಟರ್ ಗಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಮೈಕ್ರೋಮೀಟರ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ 0.0000001 ಮೀಟರ್. 5 0 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 1 ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನ್ಯಾನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ 10 power minus 9 meter. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು this is like 0.000000001 meter. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 8 zeros ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. This is still smaller, 0.00 ಹಾಗೆ 8 zeros ಹಾಕಿ 1 ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. This is nanometer. This is still small length. This is still smaller length. This is 1 nanometer. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ we use angstrom. Angstrom is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. ಇವನ್ನ ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲ, do you remember? ಈ ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಿ, ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಫಿಕ್ಸಸ್. Parallax method is used to measure very large distances. Avogadro's method is used to measure very small distances. If possible, after you come back to college, I'll teach you Avogadro's method again. Avogadro's method ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ. Avogadro's method ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ನಾನು ನೀವು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ರೈಟ್? Parallax method may be clear. Parallax method ಏನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Avogadro's method ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೀವು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ. ಇವನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಆಂಗ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಮ್, ನ್ಯಾನೋಮೀಟರ್, ಮೈಕ್ರೋಮೀಟರ್, ಮಿಲಿಮೀಟರ್, ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಂಗ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10 power minus 10 meter. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ, 1 ಆಂಗ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಮ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಬರೀತೀವಿ, a ವರ್ಗು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ 0 ಬರೀತೀವಿ. This is the symbol used for writing angstrom. 1 angstrom ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 10 power minus 10 meter. 1 angstrom is 10 power minus 10 meter. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ we also use another unit called Fermi. Fermi ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 10 power minus 15 meter. Fermi is 10 power minus 15 meter, right? So these are some of the practical units for measuring very small distances. So large distances are measured using units such as astronomical unit, light year, and then parsec. On the other hand, micron, nanometer, angstrom, Fermi, all these are used for measuring very small distances. Ili I can understand. Avadi yaro one question kelidu, parallax method is used for measuring large distances. Yes, parallax method is used for measuring large distances. And if you calculate distance of, say, sun from the earth, in what units do you express that distance? In what units do you express that distance of earth and sun? In what units do you express it? Meters na express ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, astronomical unit na measure ಮಾಡಿ, astronomical unit. That is very good. How about distance between, say, earth and some planet? ಅದನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? earth and a planet, right? So this is how you need to express, right? Earth and sun ನೀವು earth and sun you have to express in astronomical unit. Earth and some other planet ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ try expressing it in light years. Try expressing it in light years, right? Fermi's a symbol, just 1 fm ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. 1 fm, 1 Fermi meter, small f m, 1 Fermi meter, right? So this is regarding length. So the SI unit of length is meter. It is convenient for moderate distances. Meter na moderate distances use ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಬಹಳ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ try opting astronomical unit, light year, parsec, whichever is convenient ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರಿಬೇಡ್ರಿ, 0.00000001 ಅಂತ ಬೇಡ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ, ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರಿ.